Hello, my friends. Welcome. Today, I wanted to talk about the observer effect and the holographic universe. Okay, so thousands of years have gone by, and what people in the East, mysticism, spiritual teachings, talk about the influence of consciousness on reality. We can bring that up as well into the advanced field of physics, which talks about the observer effect and how reality changes due to how it is observed. Now, all of this on the first time you hear it can sound very abstract. It can sound like, what does that even mean? But as we evolve, as we develop, we prove all this to be true from our subjective experience. Because the more tuned in we are, the more we start to realize that there really is a link between what I feel in here and what I experience out there. There is a world out there that we are experiencing, but it is predominantly influenced by how we feel inwardly. In A Course in Miracles, they say what you hold within is your perception of the universe. What you feel most deeply is your perception of the universe. These quotes start to really glow and illumine because of we start to see it in our world. We start to see how it is influenced, how our state influences out there. And I personally have seen really big transformations happen in a very short amount of time due to the focus on this principle. There is something Neville Goddard talks about as well, the power of assumption, and it is all intertwined with this as well. We could talk about how our reality is built up of what we assume it to be. If we assume someone to be angry and grumpy, that's how they will be. And this is where I feel when we talk about God's work, why are we here? How are we to serve our fellow human, our fellow brothers and sisters? It is this right here. It is to change and alter our perception so it is more in line with the Christ consciousness, with light, with love, with forgiveness, with compassion, and come away from all of the energies of anger, hostility, grief, apathy, because these are all things that when we feel inwardly, we will project onto the world. Already, the powerful quote is there's nothing to change but self. There is nothing to change but self. And this once again becomes very, very apparent when you start to see how you are feeling inwardly is influencing out there. Have you ever taken a moment to really tune into your life, to tune into the mirror of life and see what's being reflected back at you through a people, person's situations and circumstances? You can have two exact same circumstances and they be totally different due to what is going on within you. And nervous system dynamics and evolution is plays a very, very important role for this, especially when it comes to the journey of leaving survival mode. Within survival mode, we experience lots of inward hostility. We talk about anger, we talk about grief, we talk about apathy, we talk about all these really dense emotions that we experience within, and then we start to see this all being reflected without, with the experience of discord in harmony with how everything unfolds. So there's a really big identity shift in all of this as we start to exit the survival paradigm. And once we start to exit the survival paradigm, we start to shift our internal state, which then changes how we see our world, what we perceive. Our assumptions change as we evolve and move forward. How we perceive someone in a state of deep survival and nervous system dysregulation is very different to what we will see when we raise up the charts into when we would experience things like acceptance, forgiveness, joy, and peace. They are absolute massive contrasts, but Neither one is good or bad. They just deliver totally different qualities of experience. And we have to expect as well that nothing's going to get ironed out straight away. I always talk about the analogy of the ship that is when it turns its engine off, it still takes a couple of miles to slow down. And this is happening with multiple elements and facets within our whole infrastructure, our energy infrastructure of what's going on, our inherited DNA, our inherited energetic patterns that are here to play out. And a lot of those will come with discord, and they'll all come with different assumptions. They'll all come with different perspectives, perceptions of what we're projecting onto the world. But the more we become aware of this, it's with that awareness which helps. I don't want to use the word. I want to use the. I'm feeling to use the word accelerate. We start to move forward with a lot more ease and non-resistance. It's our journey of coming away from resistance. When we're in a heavily resistant state, we're obviously going to have those different perceptions and assumptions that we're projecting onto the world. And then we bring in a regulated nervous system, and then we start to project different assumptions onto the world. But it's through this that you start to really, really see and tune into just how mysticism, spiritual teachings that are thousands of years old, when it talks about this relationship between consciousness and reality. And then we start to listen to and tune into advanced theoretical physics, which talks about this and breaks it down about this influential factor that we do have on the world. And it can be very overwhelming at certain points. We can start to really tune in to the totality of just how much we are influencing the world. This is when we start to break away from a victim mentality, and we really start to take ownership for every single thing that's happening within our lives. Like I said just a moment ago, this is what I feel to be. This is what God's work is. It's us resolving these inner patterns within, so we then start seeing things as they truly are. That's one of the big things as well. It's seeing things as they truly are, past all the programming, past our program. We have to be with someone within their programming, whatever they may be going through. Maybe that's intense anger, destruction, being in the presence of someone with anger, but with you rooted in this truth is one of the most profound states that you can be in, because you can help dissolve that person's anger just from your new sense of perspective, just from you coming closer into your truth, the one truth, that one point of perspective, just to shine that onto that person is so profound. It goes beyond all comprehension, and it goes in its a holographic nature as well. So even if you're in the presence of someone who's navigating whatever that may be, and you're able to see the truth in them in that moment, it just expands and ripples like water in a pond. It expands and transcends everything. So in that moment, it influences not just that situation there, but it expands to the totality of everyone within the human experience. The holographic nature of this is really, really important. Spoke about the holographic universe. Well, I mentioned it very early on in this video. The holographic nature of reality. We can think that we're just compartmentalized. We have a private mind. We have this private thing. There's just that person in front of us. Nothing else is being influenced, but everything is being influenced by what is happening within inside each individual within that moment. I hope you're still with me. So, my friends, this is really, really, really important. But it is important. Like I said, we can get overwhelmed by the gravitas of this. But that's why it's really important when we can to instill humor, instill joy, instill lightness into all of this, to be aware of that heaviness that we can build within when we start to focus too much on the overall context of the whole process, to bring us into that joy-like state, because you don't even have to do anything sometimes, just to find a sense of joy in whatever situation it may be. even when it's those moments when you're with someone who's, like I said, going through that like heaviness, where you can deploy and instill that lightness within, like shining that light, feeling into your own inner light. So powerful. So, wherever you are on your journey, my friend, sending you so much love. Start to really tune in, be aware of this, and just know that deep down, this is why we are here right now on planet Earth. We're here to break through all of this, coming out of that survival paradigm, coming into this new state of awareness, so we can start to create this new world that has been prophesized many times before. So, my friends, this is Alex sending you so much love. And I'm going to sign out and I'll see you in the next video.